Took them out. We went to a hibachi grill,
love that.
per their request.
And then volcano.
And then we, and then
sake in the mouth.
So the guy right with me, all of a sudden the guy was just like literally on the grill and like boom, straight to sake into the mouth, and he's like, he takes it pretty good, but there's a little, splatter,
right?
And he gets done, and the guy's turning to me, and right then he's like, "Oh man, I didn't know what was coming in my mouth." And so I started dying laughing. And then this guy's shooting me with sake. So I'm like doing my best and I can't swallow. And I'm like, cut it.
Yeah. They always go 2 to 3 seconds after the point where you think you're not gonna be able to handle it anymore.
Welcome to our Film Fathers Podcast, the definitive podcast about fatherhood, film, and fatherhood in film. This is Jelani, and with me as always are a guy with an awesome 50 license plate and a steroid-friendly, web-footed, porpoise prissy punk, Martin and Brady. This is where the law stops. And I start. Sucker.
I've always wanted to make love to an angry welder. I've dreamed of nothing else since I was a small boy.
All right, people, stay with the group and remember, here at the Biodome, we are dependent on balancing homos within the system.
This week, we're diving headfirst into the deep end of the Rotten Tomatoes swamp and pulling out gems. Or at least shinier rocks than they get credit for. That's right, we've made it to the bottom of the tomato meter, and we're all about movies with less than 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics hated them, audiences mocked them, but we're here to ask, are they really that bad? We're talking about 3 infamous entries. Cobra, the 1986 Stallone vehicle that turned sunglasses and matchsticks into a personality. Jaws, The Revenge, the shark sequel so ridiculous it makes the original look like a masterpiece underwater. And Biodome, where Pauly Shore and Stephen Baldwin turn environmental catastrophe into a stoner comedy. These aren't masterpieces, let's be clear. But maybe, just maybe, there's some entertainment gold buried beneath the rubble. So grab your pizza scissors, avoid the animatronic shark, and meet us in the dome. It's time to defend the indefensible.
These are very defensible.
First of all,
yeah, we made it.
We made it. For you loyal listeners out there, thank you. First of all, but
and we know you've all been waiting and begging us for the final installment.
It just keeps coming. It's like, hey, when are you going to get to the bottom 10%?
The requests have been in the dozens,
and we made it.
Yeah.
And
what did we start with? 50?
I was thinking that 50 or 60. I couldn't remember.
I think it was below 50.
I refused to look it up.
I think it was below 50.
Somebody else fact
So this
check
is like
that.
our fifth episode or fifth entry into the
which I've enjoyed doing.
Yeah.
And there's an argument to be made that we should just bounce back and go back up towards
the other way
back up to the 50. You don't want to go to the top,
Do a snake draft?
Yeah, kind of snake draft. First of all, I don't want to go back through the 0 to 10s to try to find another 3. I will tell you, it took us a little while to find each of our choices. So
a lot of entries into 0.
Oh my God! And some movies a lot of movies I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Couldn't even
apparently justifiably so.
You just have to fly through all those like Nick Cage or Bruce Willis movies.
Yeah,
that he made
the late ones
towards the end.
Yeah.
So I started with Cobra.
Yeah.
And God, I made such a bad mistake.
Why?
This was not good.
Yeah, it was not good. I had never
Just
seen
to be clear, are you under the impression that you were going to watch 3 movies that you were like, holy shit, these are really good?
No, but I thought like there was going to be some redeeming qualities, and I guess there are a few, like the background behind this being made. One of the reasons why I picked it was because this was kind of in the age of when Stallone was offered Beverly Hills Cop.
Which I didn't know that until I was looking in the notes.
And then he turned it down because he didn't think he could handle the comedy. And he actually tried to rewrite it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. He wanted to change it into no comedy and all action.
All action.
This is what happens when you do that?
So
this has 0 comedy in it.
And they tried.
Did they try?
I think they just tried to get one-liners.
They tried to do. That's what I said. They tried.
But that's not comedy. It's like I'm sorry, not one-liners. Just comebacks, and it was supposed to make him look hard, but it just was ridiculous.
It was dumb.
You need to have some humor, and there was 0 humor.
And then he also he wrote the screenplay for this, tried to get the book re-released and have the original author
Fair
removed.
play.
Right,
Yes.
but he wanted it released with him as
With
the author.
him as the author. Because you changed so much.
And that was the thing. So I saw that note that it was based on the movie Fair Play.
Or the book Fair
The
Play.
book.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And then there was a movie Fair Play with
William Baldwin.
William Baldwin
Billy.
and Cindy Crawford.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was like Fair Game or something like that.
Or Fair Game.
Fair
yes.
Game is the name of it. Yes, that's what it is. Not
movie.
Fair Play. Yes.
Fair Play is the book, though, I think.
Based on a novel Fair Game by Paul Gosling.
my bad.
Yeah.
I'm saying it wrong.
And then in 95, William Baldwin and Cindy Crawford made Fair Game.
Okay.
Actually, based on the same novel, which made me wonder. And Martin, I'm just going to ask you because you're the well-read of the bunch, at least compared to me.
I've not read it.
Also, like your 14-year-old's well-read compared to me. That's fine if you haven't read it, by the way. I wonder how many books have been made into multiple different movies.
Oh, like, reinterpretations or different. That's a good.
I mean,
question.
I know it's not zero, but I mean, it's interesting that this is two different movies.
Well,
very different.
Are you
Right,
excluding?
again, they're adaptations, and they change a lot.
I was going to
right?
say, are you excluding like Shakespeare? Because a bunch of his
Yeah,
stories
probably.
have been redone.
Yes, I'm excluding Shakespeare.
All right.
No one gives a shit about that.
All right.
Fuck
then.
Bill.
The different Hamlets. What was the
Taming of the Shrews.
Northman?
All right, terrible question. Fine.
Ten
It's
things
a
I
great
hate about
great
you.
question. I wish I had like a really good example like this to go on, but I don't really know. One that's like where they change the title and no one really knows that it's based on the same
Yeah.
kind of a thing. But there are a few. I feel like I've come across some of them in my years of watching movies. But I think I hear what you're saying. Basically, what I was when I was watching it, I'm like, this had everything that should have been good. It could have been good, I guess. Sylvester Stallone, whatever, like him or hate him, he's made good movies. He can be an entertaining actor.
Yeah.
And Rocky is an amazing movie that he did right. So he wrote the screenplay for this. Like, it could have been okay. Like, he could have had something there, but no good.
We haven't done it, and so, but just like the thing is with Stallone, I think his margin for error is razor thin. Like, I think it's not hard.
That's a good way to put it.
Rocky could have been pretty rough and
Right.
bad. Like, it became what it is, and it's an iconic movie in the history of sports movies in general. It's not a far stretch for that to be just really bad.
Yeah, just a bomb. Yeah. And I think every studio passed on because they didn't want him to act in it.
Right.
And there's all kinds of stuff about Rocky.
I think a lot of people gloss over it because they're like, "Oh, Rocky, it's amazing," but I'm like, it's
I
really. I don't think it's
right.
hard to imagine that being this.
Right. But he's coming off of good movies.
Yeah.
So
Hence
that's what
why
I'm saying.
he got the benefit of the doubt. On
right.
this.
And wrongly so because it's just
Well,
terrible.
and then the other thing that they said was there was a lot of this that got edited and left on the cutting room floor because that's why there's so many plot holes.
It
and
was
things.
X-rated.
Yeah,
that would have been better.
But
it was for violence.
not for the reason I wanted it to be.
Right. Just for violence.
For violence.
They said because they said there's a very rare work print of the movie that's like has been circulated among fans. I'm surprised Redding doesn't have that copy.
Yeah.
Most of it's poor quality, whatever that means. But it's
like
like
the rest
30
of
to
the movie?
40 minutes of footage that's not available in other versions. Some of the cuts made the first murder victim having her hand severed. The thing is, this stuff wouldn't even be like maybe R
tamed
now.
Yeah, especially because back then it would have looked very fake. And
Yes.
you would have been known that it was
An
fake and all
an
that.
extended autopsy scene, including lingering shots of naked and mutilated bodies. A longer death for Ingrid's photographer, Dan, including a shot of him slipping on his own blood while trying to escape. God forbid. And more homicides of the townspeople during the climax, including a person getting struck in the face with an axe. None of that stuff to me sounds anywhere remotely close to an X rating, but apparently it was the blood and the gore.
Nor does it make it a better, really a better movie.
No.
I don't know if it could have hurt.
It couldn't hurt.
Here's why it could have hurt. Love the hour and a half.
Yeah, I do love the time.
Which
It
they
was
said
short.
they cut it down so much because they just wanted more showings in a theater to try to make more money.
Because they were going up against Top Gun and other big movies that year.
That plays with what Golan Globus and what they do, right?
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with these guys?
So I know a little bit about them.
That's a production company.
Oh.
Golan
Globus.
Globus. Two guys. That
Golden
basically-
Globus? I think it's pronounced Golden Globes.
Globe. That's awesome. I don't know. I never put that together before. But yeah, I think Jelani and I it's a lot of our childhood, right?
Yeah.
We watched a lot of WPWR, Power 50 movies that were basically made by these.
Yeah,
by,
I think they did
company.
the what's the one with Schwarzenegger and Alyssa Milano?
Commando.
Commando. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they were behind that team too.
Nice.
And,
They
One-
did
one
all
of
the
our early movies.
sequels to Death Wish.
Oh God.
yeah,
So they with Bronson because they basically
Give me your Bronson.
tried. Hey, let's make the second movie of Death Wish 2. I don't know if that was good or not.
It
but
doesn't matter.
It wasn't your
basically, I
best.
watched Electric Boogaloo: The Wild Untold Story of Canon Films. It's a documentary about those two guys, and they bought Canon Films or the rights to that company and some of their backstory. I think they initially made Death Wish 1, and that was like a big hit. So they're like, let's make 5 of them,
Yeah.
like American Ninja. They made like 5 of those too, or something like that.
Yeah.
So they just kept on
Just kept
churning
pumping
out
them out.
movies in the
Right.
80s that went straight to video, and they're all basically like Cobra, like this, like trash, but not. I don't know. There's just something. It's bad, but it's not the worst thing either. Like there is some production value to it.
Yeah,
right?
there's an endearing. Here's the thing. I didn't hate this.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
definitely
know.
not like really good.
I would have
but
liked it more if I don't remember watching it as a kid. I remember always seeing
I've
it and
never
wanting
seen it.
to watch it, but I've never actually seen
I
it.
never saw it. I know that for a fact. It was always the one like of those that I
Yeah.
just never got around to or didn't, and I wasn't going to really seek out. So this gave when you picked it, I was like, oh, this is great. I've never seen this movie.
Yeah.
This is not good by any means, but I didn't dislike it.
I do love the way that the captain is just like, bring in the Cobra, and they're like, damn it, Cabretti, I don't like your tactics, and just the way they do. It's very much like the other guy, like all the comedies that we see that
You
they
see
basically are
things that
making
have pulled out of this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they definitely are making fun of this more because you've seen those tropes in other things, and we've talked about them before.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is the quintessential movie where he's the loner bad guy that no one wants to bring in, but they have to bring him in.
Right.
And he's got the Cobra gun that's in his front of his pants. Like, does anyone actually do that?
No.
In real life?
Do you know why?
Yeah, because you'd shoot your dick off.
Well, so that and after shooting that guy,
You'll shoot your dick off.
you'll burn yourself too because that
No,
gun
that's
is
the
on
famous
fire.
line from A Christmas Story, right? Right. It's hot.
It's hot. And he's like, you'd burn everything on every part of that gun touched in your
You're not
pants.
going to
would
put it
burn
back
up.
in your pants very quickly.
Let me tell you what I was excited about when I saw this movie.
Bridget Nielsen?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. But is that what you were going to
No,
say?
I didn't care
Okay.
as
All
much
right.
about Poppy.
Poppy?
The Poppy stage.
Poppy from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I didn't know Poppy before Poppy, and clearly
No, I didn't know
he's
he was in
existed.
anything.
Oh, it says he's been in like John Wayne movies. That guy had a career. Clearly,
That's funny.
people that there were older people than us that saw Poppy and knew him from things.
Yeah.
we weren't those people, and I saw him and I was really excited. By the way,
Poppy was getting
he
sloppy.
looked pretty close
To Poppy?
to Poppy in 1986.
Right.
We saw him a decade plus later.
Was it in the late 90s when Poppy was?
For
I thought
sure.
It was an early episode.
Yeah, but 96 was the beginning. No.
No, Seinfeld's
No,
like 91.
80.
91? Yeah. So
Or
I bet it was
89.
I thought it was
95.
89.
Okay, so sorry,
Maybe
I
you're
rounded
right.
down. I bet it was 8 years later.
Yeah. Did you
I'm
guys
gonna say
recognize
5.
anybody else
Bridget Nielsen?
besides Bridget Nielsen? One of the,
I recognize the captain.
the captain?
Yeah, but
From
I don't.
what?
Oh, well, Art LaFleur.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Lindsay's dad looks like him. That's how I know his name. But he's the Babe Ruth in The Sandlot.
Oh,
and
that's what it
he's
is.
he plays another baseball player in something else.
I know him as Babe Ruth from the same.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Babe Ruth from the Sandlot, no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why it was funny when he was just like, bring in the Cobra.
Yeah.
And that's such a stupid name too. Like, I wonder if the name in the book is Cobretti, and that's why he's
You know what?
called,
I kind of didn't hate the
You didn't hate
Cobra
that?
variant of Cobretti.
Is that a real name? Is anyone named Cobretti in this world?
I mean, do they have to be?
No, but
I don't know.
It's great. It's very 80s great. I don't.
There were 2 other people that I recognized, by the way. Can you get to either of them? Anyone else? Did you?
Was it her photographer?
Oh, actually, yes. Sorry, 3.
Yeah.
David Rash is his name, and he was in what was it?
You know,
I'm struggling. I remember he was in Succession recently. Carl Mueller.
Oh,
Remember?
Oh,
He was like on the periphery
That's
of.
right. Yeah. What I was gonna say, what would have made this movie better was I thought Poppy was gonna be like was gonna turn on him too. He was gonna be one of the bad guys. Oh, and the other cop, the woman cop, I've recognized her from some stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where. Yeah, so she was one of them. Lee Garlington is her
Yeah.
name, which
What
I
is
definitely could not have pulled out of anything.
I don't know what she's in. Definitely some
And then
stuff.
Brian Thompson.
I don't know who that
So
is.
I don't know him. He was the bad guy.
He was
Oh
in,
yeah.
Slasher.
Yeah.
he was in the original Mortal Kombat, I think as Kano,
Oh, funny.
Really?
or he was one of the
His
villains
voice does
in
not
Shang-Chi.
match his look. Like his
No.
voice is so deep, and he's just so weird. Where they're like the new world. They didn't even say. I kept wanting them to say
New
New
Order.
World Order, but
Yeah.
they just said the new
New
world
Order.
is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just like if there was like something else. If there was like if Poppy turned out to be a bad guy, there would have been some kind of twist. But there was nothing. It was just like they're gonna stop at nothing to kill Bridget Nielsen
Right.
because she saw a murder. Maybe
Because he walked
But-
out. She doesn't see anything if that dude doesn't walk out in the middle of the street and stare her down.
And it's like, do
She
they
just
really
drives
care? They're going
past.
to kill everybody anyway. They've killed like 50 people to kill her. It's like, who cares if she saw something? Like,
Yeah, at this
your
point-
new world is coming. It's just a stupid plot.
Did it feel like it was shot like everything was shot like a music video?
Yeah, there
There
was
the scenes when they're arguing in the police room and they're like spinning around the captain's
I
room,
didn't
the
pick up
glass.
on it.
It just like
There
the
was a lot,
whole
and the cars, like the motorcycle.
Yeah.
there was like close-ups of it. Like that's. It feels like there is some production value for 1985 that I was like, or 86.
What's funny is the notes I saw said that the director was George Cosmatos.
Because he's done some stuff.
But they were like, really, it was Stallone. Cosmatos
Funny.
was essentially just like on set, and they're like, he didn't do anything. Stallone did everything.
I'm not sure if it's Cosmatos or.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm wrong on that, but the other guy I knew was the bad guy in
he's
the
done
beginning
other
in the
movies.
supermarket, the very first one who walked in.
Yeah.
I recognized him as well, but that blew right out of the gate. I was like, Cobra jumps into the supermarket pretty much no problem, and directly inside the door he goes in is someone cowering.
Right.
Like, she could have left.
he could have been gone. Half of the
All
people.
those people. Yeah, because he starts shooting the fruit first.
100%.
Everyone, just run out.
Sneak out the back.
But
What do you
again, this
still
is
say to that?
86.
One dude's hiding in a freezer
No one
door.
knew. No one knew about what to do in the shooter situation. The director directed Tombstone as well, and Rambo: First Blood Part 2, and a movie called Leviathan. You guys ever watch that? 1989, Peter Weller.
I read the poem
Oh,
in like middle school.
I would have also liked to see Stallone use his grenades on like groups of people instead of one at a time. It feels like I haven't thrown a lot of grenades, but I
Yeah.
feel like that would have been the play. There was like 6 people riding in a bunch right behind him, and then he threw his grenade at one guy on a bike, and I was like, feels like I could have taken care of everybody here, but
Yeah. And then 48 minutes into it, the cursor to Fast and the Furious when he throws the NOS.
dude, the NOS came out of nowhere.
and
Didn't even know they made NOS back
was
then.
it a missed opportunity for him not? He should have been driving a Cobra, right? That would have been a better car.
Was that car around?
Shelby Cobra.
Yeah, the
What
Shelby
year?
Cobra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
60s.
That is a big miss.
big miss. He's
Yeah.
driving because he drives a weird car too. If it was
You
just a
wanna know
regular
why?
car,
You want to know why he
is it
drove
Stallone's
that
car?
It sure is.
Of course.
It's
like-
Stallone's car. It's
it's like
Stallone's
Cru-
script. Stallone's wife, because she was married to Bridget Nielsen at the time.
Was he?
Well, I don't know if
he
it was
married-
at the time.
I
Was
thought
it? Or
well,
after.
because this was after Rocky. No, Rocky 4 was later.
4 was later.
Yeah,
I wondered
So, yeah.
if this led to the marriage.
maybe, but
didn't-
it's all Stallone.
didn't go
He
down
was-
the bio.
He was directing it.
It
He was
worked
doing
for
it all.
it worked for him. But yeah, not a good movie.
Not great. Didn't hate it.
Yeah,
Stand by
not great.
it.
Didn't hate it. It's I don't know if does it deserve the rating? Are we going to say that? Are we going to discuss that? Like,
I think it
is it more or is it more like a 30%er?
If this was in the teens, I would not be arguing.
Yeah, I would bump it up to 14.
But we're splitting hairs, right? It's fine where it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's people who want it where it is. I would be okay. If it was in the 20s, I wouldn't care either. I'm not trying to push this all the way up, but I'm just saying like this movie to me is not any worse than plenty of other really shitty movies.
I know
that are
what
higher.
it is. What it is it doesn't really have any kind of like make fun of rewatchability. I know you guys don't like
They
The
weren't
Room
to that point
but
yet.
true. But looking back and maybe this is a good segue to the next movie. I feel like Jaws: The Revenge does have a certain amount of, you could laugh at how stupid some of the stuff is, and it makes me want to rewatch it a little bit just to laugh at it. Like Cobra, I don't feel like I'm really laughing at anything because it's not silly enough at all to be laugh worthy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Did I explain that okay?
I just disagree with
you. Disagree? You didn't like it? Have you seen it before?
Nope. Another movie I had not seen. Jaws: The Revenge.
No.
It was the first Jaws movie I've seen. So I was definitely
You saw
young.
this before the original?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. So for me, watching it probably when I was like, 7 or 8. I don't know if I watched it in 87 because I would have been only 6, but maybe I did. But it was early on, and it didn't seem ridiculous at all that a shark would be going after the mom. It was only when I watched it now, and I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
Because she had
So
a connection with the shark?
Right, like
Could
that's
sense
so
where it's
silly.
at.
But like as a kid, none of it seemed silly. I'm like, yeah, of course a shark could roar like a bear or jump out of the boat and snatch a guy's arm from his, which was just very clearly under the slicker, the rain suit or whatever. Like this, it made me laugh a lot watching it this time. I enjoyed the viewing. Well, I knew you guys were going to fight me, but I'm coming in hot.
This was your choice.
This was my choice. I'm defending it. I thought it was great.
This will be the one time I watch this movie.
For sure.
I could watch Cobra again. I don't have any interest in Jaws: The
Opposite for
Revenge
me.
again.
No.
There's
Michael Caine, though.
Michael Caine, the one endearing part of this
What was he
entire
doing
movie.
in this movie?
Who knows?
Why?
Can't afford to do anything.
I saw why.
Did he actually lose money in
Michael Caine
in the gambling debt?
accepted his role after seeing only the first line of the script, which was "Fade in Hawaii."
He wanted to film in Hawaii.
Caine
I
had
respect
always
that.
wanted to shoot a movie in Hawaii.
I respect that. Why wasn't it the Bahamas?
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
they did actually shoot a bunch of the Bahamas too. So, I didn't even hate it. This isn't good.
Struggled.
so bad.
Struggled to finish it.
Yeah, I did. No, this isn't even the worst movie I've watched on our podcast. I just didn't know. Hard no.
Yeah, to me again goes into the so bad it's
You got the
kind of funny.
nostalgia
Yeah,
play, too.
and nostalgia play and so bad it's good.
That
but
shark
not for you.
was awful. The shark threw me.
It is the same shark though, isn't it?
There's no way.
They had to have improved a touch.
You think so?
A
You
little.
don't think it's the same like
Bruce?
Bruce that they had from the first one, or
I think they got a better one.
or a worse
Believe
one.
it or not.
wait, yeah. I think it's just that there's too many shots of it.
Yeah, it's too much. It's like
What's great about the first one, right? You don't see
You
it
don't
for
see
halfway
it,
through,
right.
and they just give you glimpses of it. Whereas this one, they're like, yeah,
Well,
we're showing you the whole
we're
thing.
going through.
Yeah,
We're
here it
sneaking
is.
through the
Yeah.
the ship. We're biting
Yeah, it's too
the
much.
submarine, the submersible. Like
There's-
we're jumping out of the water, grabbing people, pulling them off the banana boat.
And I think I realized as a kid, they're traveling from what's the town? Amity,
Amity, Maine.
yeah.
in Maine or wherever it is in the East Coast, all the way down to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
to follow the
To
mom.
follow the mom.
Crazy, and then only goes after the
Never
daughter
seen
and the brother.
a great white in warm water. Nope, no problem at all.
Michael Caine loses all his money at the casino, but then still crashes his plane into the
Why
ocean.
did he do that? That was
And then
has
has still got more planes to fly later on. Like, what is going on?
And how did Mario and people survive?
That's a fair question.
That was so stupid that they brought him. I didn't remember that at all. And all of a sudden, he's still alive now. Like they could have just let him die. It would have been fine. There was
must have
no
been-
reason to bring him
That
back.
must have been before. They didn't know the token trope.
Right.
And what was with his accent?
Awful. God,
This is
awful.
one of the worst.
Ew, rough.
Because it definitely went away at times. Because he tried to talk too much.
I have
feel
a
like it's
feeling
part
why,
of the problem.
because it's not real. It's not.
Yeah.
he couldn't hold it.
Well, I'm saying like if they just gave him a few choice phrases where he actually maybe held it, but then the problem is that he kept talking and then it just naturally slips away. I feel like
it was.
there
not
was
good.
there was a lot of really bad things in this movie that were just fun choices. To make.
Don't you get the bends if you come up underwater that
Yeah.
fast?
Probably.
I was like, the abyss taught us
That's
that.
your technicality.
Depending on how deep he was, yes, maybe he wasn't deep enough for it to be.
He said
I was
that.
wondering how deep
Because they
he
were
actually was.
looking at conches. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Facts.
doubt Don't tell me. Oh, what'd you call me?
I bet you say Appalachian Mountains too.
I have a feeling it wasn't that deep
Yeah.
based off where they were.
They were rolling in the deep, I think.
It was still very nice, light-looking water.
Light-looking water?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I was. That was my gauge of the situation.
Just all of it.
Yeah.
I read some of the reviews, and God,
Michael!
This movie
The
belongs.
louder you yell, he hears you more.
Right.
This movie belongs in the 0 to 10.
It definitely does. No one's questioning that.
Gene Siskel's review, when you hear Lorraine Gray, you want the shark to eat her.
She's really a really bad actress.
She they said had been retired and came out of retirement to take part in this again. She's like, oh yeah, no one's ever called me. I'll take it.
And it was only Jaws was what I looked at 1975. It's only 12 years later. Yeah, everyone seems like it was like 20 years older. Like the boys are way grown up. You know,
Yeah.
they make it seem like it was a lot later.
20 years isn't nothing.
No, 12 years.
12 years. That ain't
12
nothing
years
either.
It's not that long. Yeah, but anyway.
Talk to your son in 12 years. Let me know if he looks older.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, the kids were the boys were really small. I think they were like, I don't know, 5 years old. So they should only be like 17 is what I'm thinking. Anyway, one of the worst on-screen kisses I've ever seen. Lorraine and Michael Caine, you know, it's kind of like he was what, Alfie? He's like, you know, he's an attractive man and probably women like him, but that was just like the worst thing I've ever seen on screen.
You think it's her?
It gave me the ick. I was like, like, what is happening? Why? And they didn't need to have that as a subplot at all.
Yeah. He was the best part of the movie. And that's just because we like Michael Caine.
I actually didn't think the main Michael. I don't think his character was terrible. He wasn't like a completely terrible actor.
No. Do you know where else you've seen it?
Last Starfighter.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was him, but I liked that movie, or I loved it when I was a kid.
When I was a kid too, I loved it too. Yeah.
It was like one of those where I was like, I watched it, and I watched it before I watched Star Wars. And I didn't know it was like a blatant Star Wars ripoff. So I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. Last Starfighter is my favorite movie. But then it was never on. So I've only seen it like once or 1.5 times. I'm sure it's terrible.
It's about a kid who's really good at a video game that's secretly like a training program to go fight.
I don't
an
remember.
alien.
Kind of like
I'm
Ender's
looking
Game.
it up. Yeah. I don't. Doesn't look familiar.
It's one of those like it's
saw it.
definitely a Star Wars ripoff, but it had there's people that love it. It's a little culty.
It is very 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 80s.
But I don't think he was a terrible actor. And Michael Caine's. It's not like Michael Caine's character was great. He didn't have great lines. Although I did write one down.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Last Starfighter.
Yeah.
The tomato meter is 76% on that.
Yeah. It's a good movie, yeah.
Yeah. That's
It's quite the end of the spectrum.
significantly higher.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't say it was a bad movie, did I?
No, I
I just think I haven't
you were
seen it.
alluding to the fact that it really wasn't that great, but it was like, oh, it's fine.
Okay.
76 is like,
Yeah, that's really high. You're right.
think
I haven't seen it in forever.
That
so-
could have a lot of nostalgia play too, though. But
it is only 90 reviews.
But that's the critics, right?
70% on Popcorn Meter.
Oh, okay.
They're both 70.
Yeah, that's
And that's 25,000 plus. Anyway.
yeah, that sounds right. To
Okay.
me. I don't know.
significantly better, as you made.
Yeah.
Significantly
7 times better.
So he's like, what year was it?
Oh, God damn it.
Was it before this? I wonder. I think it was before this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's probably like, I'm in like a Star Wars
Right.
ripoff that does really well. I'll do the new job.
Yeah, I'll do
84.
whatever.
84. Yeah. So 3 years later.
Yeah. Just keep this train
This
running.
was 3 years later.
Yeah. 3
Jaws.
years. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll give you that. Have you guys seen Jaws 3D or Jaws 3 recently?
That's the one where
Never.
they're in Florida at the
They're in like the
SeaWorld
type thing.
Yeah.
This is a better movie than that. That movie's just not good. It's with Louis Gossett Jr. So I'll give you that.
Interestingly enough, so Michael Caine, while filming this, actually won an Academy Award. Not for this.
Okay, yeah, I know. In '87 for Sleuth. No, what was it for? Yeah. I'm trying to think what would it
It's
would have.
not listed, so
Yeah. But
hold on. I have something to follow it up. By the way, that wasn't just a fun fact, and that you asked me a question, I have to be able to answer.
I'm surprised you guys didn't find it at all like laughable,
I think
silly, funny.
I think if I had
How bad
seen
it
it
was.
before,
Yeah.
I might be able to, but I've never seen it, and so it was just there's nothing to it. There's no redeeming qualities for this film.
No, but it's just to ridicule and make fun of how anyone thought it was a good idea to call it The Revenge and actually have them go after a family. Like, I think that was a good idea.
So Michael Caine won an Academy Award while filming this. Hannah and Her Sisters.
Oh, it's Woody Allen.
Best actor in a supporting role.
Yeah.
And the fun fact was, he was the second actor to follow up an Academy Award-winning performance with a Razzie Award due to... Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Correction. Apologies. Educating Rita.
Oh.
Best actor in a leading role.
That doesn't...
Nominated.
That doesn't
No, he
sound
won...
right.
I don't know. The years don't add up here.
The math is not mathing.
That was 83.
Because this is what?
7.
Yeah, okay, so that's right. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Hannah and Her Sister sounds
Hannah and Her Sisters is right. He won for Best Actor Supporting Role, and he was the second to win a Razzie Award for a Jaws sequel. The first was Louis Gossett Jr., who won an Oscar for Officer and Gentleman, and then was nominated for a Razzie for Jaws 3D.
That's funny.
Sorry, took me an hour to get there, but that was the... I thought that was interesting.
What's funny is Back to the Future 2, you know, they have like Jaws 17 or something like that. Like, that was the joke. But this one killed the Jaws franchise.
Thank God.
After this, they're like, no, we can't keep going. Like,
they needed to be done.
Freddy movies, Jason movies, they kept going. Halloween movies.
They just reinvented it. They just did something different.
What? Deep
Blue Sea, and then the Meg.
I think we're ripe for a actual Jaws sequel.
Well, they got the Meg and the Meg 2.
Yeah, but what have you seen those?
I've seen the first one. Brooklyn watched the Meg 2
I have
the
not
other
seen
day.
either.
I mean, that's got to be they got to be bad, right? Or are they kind of good?
mean,
are they kind of like those King Kong movies?
Hoagie could still alive.
What kind of name is Hoagie anyway?
It's the sandwich.
Yeah, is that? What
I'm just saying, Hoagie. You could get Michael Caine back into Hawaii. Maybe he's still flying. He has to bust back in and fly a plane.
Is Lorraine still available?
So
Much to our chagrin,
She's always available.
she didn't make it,
Oh man.
but it's okay. Now
No,
we're
Roy
following-
Scheider. Roy Scheider knew better.
Now we got Hoagie's grandson. Hoagie's son is out there. Always heard about this great white. All right. Well,
Now to the best movie.
to the 90s, the most recent movie, we will say, which was my choice. And this was a no-brainer for me when I saw this in the queue of movies that were sub 10%. Biodome in 1996. I've seen this numerous times, and not in a long time.
That
but
does not surprise me.
I was here's the thing. I want to say I was surprised to see this was in the sub 10%. And generally, I am surprised that it was sub 10%.
Me too.
It doesn't belong too high, but
No.
sub 10 is too low.
I've never seen it. Believe it or not.
Jelani?
I
don't
think
know how
I've seen
missed
it
it.
once.
Okay. I just want Jelani to just give me all your negativity.
And I liked Pauly Shore in this era.
How? How did he get it? How did he make more than one movie?
It's because Encino Man was good.
Was it?
Son-in-Law was good.
Son-in-law?
In the Army Now was not good. And this was, I don't know, he wasn't terrible in this. Like,
He was an idiot in this.
Yeah,
But
he's an idiot. But it was kind of funny.
different.
I get it. That was his
Do you?
thing, but I just don't understand how how people
you're
were
saying,
like,
how is Pauly Shore a thing?
yeah, how did people sign up for that?
So I watched this. His mom was the owner of the the Comedy Store in L.A.
Okay.
So he grew up around comedy and stand-up comedians and stuff like that. And I think he runs it now too. But he recognizes that he was very lucky to have like the film career that he did. Like, he's like, I don't know how it happened, but it was like an MTV thing.
He was
and
odd
of the
and unique.
moment.
And it clicked for people. And he
And
had a couple movies.
I didn't hate. So I really enjoyed this movie. I really did. I thought for not watching it, and I was surprised that I still enjoyed it now. It made me laugh.
Yeah.
I should have watched it in '96.
It's-
I just always passed me up, and I'm glad you picked
It is very dumb, and it is very funny, and you just have to lean in, and it is very entertaining.
I did not find it very entertaining.
I expected nothing less.
I feel like we've split every movie 2-1, right? Or
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Which
which is about right.
Yeah,
that's how it
that
should
checks
be.
out. Yeah,
2 out of 3 film fathers recommend.
I had no doubt you weren't going to enjoy it unless it was like a random one. I just, first of all, they are annoying. They are stoner dudes. I mean, that's been done numerous
It would
times.
be fun to watch High.
They do it well. I think, Jelani, what I would have liked you to enjoy out of this is William Atherton.
Or Kylie Minogue.
Why is Atherton one of the best douche
He's always
people of all
the best,
time?
The best
Yes.
heel of all time, right?
It just is. But is this the second time we've seen him wearing a scarf? Does he just always have scarves?
Have we seen him in a scarf before?
I don't know. It just feels
I'm
like
thinking Real Genius, Die Hard, Ghostbusters, and this are
Maybe
his
I'm wrong.
four like terrible.
the scarf felt. Maybe it's just I'm remembering it from previous.
the hair was bad.
Oh, the long hair.
Yeah, the long hair did not work for him.
I mean, I just
Well, maybe
he's
it's the
so. Oh, he's awful.
Was this your initial love of Joey Lauren Adams?
No,
Or
I
was
think it was Mallrats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought
we did
I
Mallrats
watched-
recently, and,
Yeah.
and this was a nice follow up to that. She's just got a little mousiness to her. She's it plays.
Just a quick note on William Atherton. I was looking up his known fors. You nailed 3 out of 4.
Of course.
Wait, so what would the 4th be that I didn't name?
Day of the Locusts,
Oh, what the fuck?
1975.
I do know that movie was played on WPWR Power 50, but I've never watched it.
This is the beauty of the IMDb game. You cannot.
I was that close. That's the closest I've
You
ever
got
been.
what
I
you
feel
should
like.
have.
Didn't one
Although
of
you
us
listed
win
this
it one time?
so
I think we got.
someone did once. I think.
I thought it was you.
Yeah, I
but
think
maybe
at
not.
one point we did.
Could be.
Yeah. So, that was just all bad. It was all bad.
You didn't laugh at all, or find it at all amusing when they kept just saying the wrong thing. How stupid, absolutely stupid they were. There was some clever writing.
There were some points where it was like, okay, I get it.
There you
There
go.
was
That's
there
it.
was a little bit of humor, but it was just overall
lean
I
in,
didn't
old
really
man.
like what was the tribal dance? That was kind of stupid.
the safety
Let's
dance.
go tribal, and then
There's plenty of dumb stuff.
Yeah, there's dumb stuff.
It's just that is the
that is the nature of the movie.
the dumb comedy. This is the genre, and I saw a note where Steven said his brother Alec Baldwin reportedly told him, if you make this movie, it'll be the end of your acting career.
And was it?
It might have been,
might have
actually,
been, yeah.
pretty close to it.
No. Well,
I was gonna say this is 91.
This pre-Suspects?
Yeah.
no.
No.
This is 95.
90.
I'm sorry, 96. So it's the year
Oh.
after Suspects.
Or, well, depending on when they're filming it, but yeah.
Right.
Sorry. I thought it was earlier.
That sucks that happened to him because it's not.
I mean, but, I don't know that he was necessary. I mean, in like Hollywood.
He's a lesser Baldwin to no one. No one, I say.
We've brought up all the Baldwins today.
Not
Is there-
Daniel.
Not Daniel. Well, they're not
Daniel in?
brothers, right?
I don't think he's. I think
Yeah,
he
he's
might
like
be
a cousin.
Oh.
He leaned into that
There
last
are only
name.
the 3: Stephen, William, and Alec.
I believe so.
I think there's another one that's just not.
Adam? That's the cousin. That's the one from Chuck, right?
Yeah, Chuck and Independence Day.
Okay. But no, there is another one that's not really an actor, I think.
Oh, well, then who gives a shit?
How do you know them?
I don't know.
He's not doing anything for us. Put him in Biodome.
Yeah, did you know Kylie Minogue as an actress?
No.
I never knew she acted.
Yeah.
I mean, other than this.
Yeah,
I just can't get her out of my head is my thing.
Layup. Great job.
put it up there.
That
Great
video,
job.
man.
Yeah. She's a looker.
Yeah.
She's Petra von Petri dish.
And then
And the other girl looked a little bit like oh shit, I had it.
I was a fan of her.
Fuentes. Looked like Daisy Fuentes a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm a
That's
fan
what
of
talk
Daisy
about
Fuentes.
MTV days.
Yeah.
Pauly Shore.
I think if you told me that was Daisy Fuentes, I'd be like, definitely.
They
but-
probably tried to cast her.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't get her.
Yeah, I kept thinking it looked a lot like her, but no.
Do you think there's a better movie to be made somewhere here? Like even like
Sure,
better
I'd say
jokes
yes.
because they're I think there is too because it's not there's something about the concept that's kind of
You need them to be stoner idiots in order to get to stumble into it. So
but
it's
some
like,
of the jokes just didn't land even for
Right.
stoner idiot jokes.
I agree. I think there could have been. Yes, I do think there's funnier. If it's written a little bit better, I think
Yeah.
it's a more entertaining movie in terms of like. I think it could get really funny.
Or I think also if they like leaned into like their stonerness, and then that was like how they, because obviously like the stoners are growing their own plants and they're like better at it. Like they did kind of lean towards at the end where he's like got all the plants, and then the hemp plant is the huge one that's like really growing. It's we could have done all this, and that's where I kind of like started to get back into it, was when they took over and they were like, you know, creating like the pop or the beer cans and making the shield, all that stuff. Getting back to the science. Let's get to the science part.
I was just gonna say, like, if they actually had it be scientific and not just like homeostasis is at 1%, like that's not a real thing, right? Like, if they actually did a little bit of real science, like The Martian, you take The Martian, you combine it with Half Baked, you have a good stoner comedy.
They did use potatoes multiple times, although I swore they were potatoes, and then they were pineapples, or excuse me, coconuts. But like when he had a bag of them, I was like, "Those are potatoes." I'm 99% sure. And then they turned out to be coconuts. Not sure where that change happened, but it was. I actually do think you're right, Martin. I think there's probably there's a 50 to 60% movie in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this movie is another one. This is a 30% minimum, in my opinion. This belongs.
It's probably a 20
a lot higher than where it is.
Yeah,
which is why it was.
I'm surprised there's not more people that. I'm surprised it isn't kind of. You don't hear about it at all, like not any kind of cult following. Maybe there is. I haven't heard that.
I told a couple guys at work that I picked this, and it was like the sub 10. And Frank, Frank, July, he was like, "That is below 10%." He's like, "I quote that movie all the time."
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure there's some people that love it. I just haven't come across them.
I'm like, yeah, apparently people don't like it, like Jelani.
Can't stand it.
That bad, huh?
No, it wasn't.
That's all right. You get to have your opinion.
Yeah, it's down at the bottom.
You got to be the. This was the worst. No, Jaws was. You thought Jaws was worse.
So all these were sub 10. Where do you guys rank them in the percentages? What's the best and what's the worst?
Cobra's the best.
Oh wow!
Out of the ones that we watched,
his own pick.
Yeah, my pick, obviously. I would say Jaws is the worst. I really struggled to.
So you put Biodome above Jaws, okay?
Yeah,
that's saying something for him.
And you're putting.
I'm Biodome, Cobra, Jaws.
I'm Biodome, Jaws, Cobra. They're all different. There you go. Look at that. Something for everybody.
Well, there we are.
But you should be happy I picked yours above mine.
I guess I'm surprised you hadn't seen it.
Yeah, because I hadn't seen it. That's probably why as well. Because I wouldn't mind watching it again just as something stupid to put on.
Yeah. Like you said, little maybe Under the Influence.
Yeah, Under the Influence. Also, and then go right into Out Cold.
Well, just jumped Out Cold at that point. Like,
yeah. Why are we wasting our time?
Out Cold's so good that doesn't fare to another appetizer movie.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm looking through Stephen Baldwin's IMDb, and
I did too. It's rough.
Poor guy.
Not good.
It's rough. He's also in Half Baked.
He is?
According to the IMDb. I don't remember him in it, but.
He's in Fred Claus.
You ever watch Biodome on weed?
Yeah, it was a struggle. Maybe Big Brother was
Why
right.
don't the Baldwin brothers make a movie together?
Yeah, have they ever? I'm sure it was.
They
if
really
they did,
try
it was
that.
bad.
And then have the Bacon
Alec
Brothers score it.
Yeah, Alec could carry it. You know,
I don't know if he can carry out all of them.
I think Alec's very funny. I like
documentary, but that's it.
The
You
Baldwins.
making it a comedy?
Yeah, I want to make it a comedy. Yeah, for sure. You'd have to.
What's that?
You couldn't make it a drama. No one would watch it. I said the Baldwin brothers movie would have to be a comedy, right?
Yeah. With the Bridges as brothers as their
The
dads.
Shreddy Balls brothers.
Meeting up with the Wayans family?
Yeah. I mean, now you're talking, like
You get Bo and Jeff Bridges as the dads.
Get a bunch of Dynasty family actors together in a movie. There's something to me.
There is something there.
There's something there. It has legs.
Fun fact, none of them talk to each other. And
Right, they all hate each
they
other.
refuse to work on the same set.
But yeah, we've done it. It's been a fun ride. I had fun watching all three of these. You know, like you said, hour and a half. I think they were all literally
Yes.
an hour and a half.
Yeah, no, it was
That was kind of wild that they were all right at the 90-minute mark.
It was my favorite part about our picks.
So yeah, I had a good time. Good week.
Able to knock them out quickly, so had to get through them. As always, if we were yogurt, we'd definitely be fruit at the bottom, and we'd want you to stir us by subscribing to our podcast wherever you listen. Thanks, and go to bed.